What is up, everyone? It is James here, and today we are going to go over a reaction to the Wolfey Draft League semifinals between Wolfglick and Joey Pokeaimmd. This should be a really good set because this is a rematch from week one, and it was one of the closest sets I think of the entire draft league. It was super exciting, came down to a rock slide, and we'll see how it goes between Wolf and Joey. If you don't know, if I'd assume most of you do know, but for those of you who don't, I actually have advanced to the finals of the Wolfey Draft League. So whoever does win this match will be my opponent for the finals. And while I do know who the winner of the set is, I actually don't know what actually happened in the set. So I'm pretty curious to see how this will go, because a long set, it looks like Wolf is taking this seriously because he didn't even do a standard Wolfey intro. So should be a pretty good one. Always like to see the lock-in moments because this is a very important match. Single elimination, you either win it here or you go home and are eliminated. So should be a good one. And Wolf's team, let's look at it, because he didn't even share like a paste or anything. He normally does in his videos, so pretty interested to see here. Pokesash, Spafra, Flame Orb, Hariyama, Citrus Berry, Trevenant, a Violet, Sliggoo, Hisui, Asho Berry, Arcanine, and Choice Scarf Noivern. Also, I'm going to be listening to the audio on Wolf's side because I heard something apparently happened, so I'm pretty interested to see what happened. But yeah, I won't be playing it on the video because I feel like if I play the audio, I'm probably going to be talking over him, and that would probably be making it for a worse like listening slash viewing experience. So yeah, if you do want to watch the original video, I assume most of you have, make sure you go check out Wolf's or Joey's side, but I'm pretty interested to see how this will go. But it's kind of an interesting setup. So Focus Sash is Spafra, could be Trick Room, could be Speed Boost, could be both, honestly. I could see him running Trick Room on this kind of build. The Hariyama should be Guts, Flame Orb. Citrus Berry, I assume it's Harvest, Trevenant. Maybe there's a Sunny Day on this team. He has Choice Scarf on a Noivern, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Noivern has Sunny Day. The Arcanine with Pasha Berry, which makes sense. Maybe could live a Wave Crash from -1 Basket Legion from Swift Swim. The Hisui Goodra is pretty tanky. Yeah, there's not like anything super crazy other than the fact that Primarina was left behind, because I feel like Primarina is a really good mon, and I mean a really good mon. Like, it's surprising not to see like Wolf not bring his ace, especially since it was probably one of his strongest mons in the draft, and the fact that I think it was like a pretty strong mon against Joey in the first one. But of course, like, there are the mind games of like how much does Joey decide to counter that mon, and I kind of did the same thing against Joey, where he probably prepped a lot into my Annihilate. I brought a different mode with my Hydrapple in the regular season, and it ended up paying off super well. So interesting to see this. We see Joey's team, which is the Greninja, the Pelipper, the Sneasel, Archaludon, Comfey, and the Basket Legion. So there's no Rhydon, which Rhyperior was like a big MVP of the previous one, but no Rhydon. But I think it kind of makes sense because Rhyperior can be more unpredictable against Wolf, and I feel like some of the calcs could make a huge difference, while Rhydon's kind of forced to bring a Violet. So I think it's a lot weaker into Wolf's team because I don't think it's as effective as a sweeper against Wolf's team. Like, I think that extra power kind of hurts him, or kind of like was needed in that. So I guess leaving Rhydon makes a lot of sense behind. Sneasel's pretty interesting because I'm not sure if Sneasel's really needed, but I guess like if you want to break through the Sliggoo, you have close combat. Hisui Sneasel also gets inner focus, so you could go for close combat. I assume like what Joey's plan is the entire time is to go for like pins with ghost moves with Basket Legion and strong fighting moves, which I assume is going to be the close combat from the Sneasel, and I assume body press from Archaludon. I feel like if I was Joey's side, I'm probably running like, what would be my moveset on Archaludon? I think I'm always running Electroshot for sure. I think I'm running Snarl for like Wolf's a lot of special attackers and control the prim pacing. I think I always run body press because, again, trying to get fighting ghost coverage is really important to punish any Terra Darks or Terra Normals. And then I think last move would probably be Dragon, Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse. I don't think Flash Cannon accomplishes anything other than maybe Mamoswine, but you have so much coverage against Mamoswine, I don't think it's necessary. And you have body press. Okay, we have Sneasel, Basket Legion versus Spafra and Noivern. Leftovers Basket Legion's interesting, so maybe substitute Wave Crash could be a thing here. I'm kind of curious on what this is. So Sneasel does have access to Fake Out. Could go for Fake Out into either slot. I don't think Has he ran fake out much? I don't even know if he's ran fake out that much. Yeah, we'll see. He says potentially substitutes and is theorizing that. I would probably guess the same thing as well. So what does Wolf do? Okay, he has Sunny Day on the Espathra. That's actually really cool because he could go for Sunny Day to stop the weather. I kind of am curious if you're running Timid Espathra to outspeed Basculegion. I think Modest would probably miss outspeeding Basculegion. Timid might outspeed. I think maybe just barely. Like, what's the Spathra? It's like base 104, something like that. It's like Timid would be like 170 something for the speed stat, then +1. Maybe Basculegion still outspeeds if it's max, but I feel like if you switch him from Joey, you might not run max. But Sneasel goes for the Terra Steel, which is interesting. Turn 1, which is interesting. I guess that makes sense because of the Lumina Crash threat, but I don't think that's too bad. Goes for Switcheroo with the Noivern to give Choice Scarf to Basculegion. Yeah, so trying to catch a substitute here. Phantom Force. Ooh. I actually like Phantom Force a lot against Wolf's team because the thing is, Wolf doesn't have the best Ghost Resist, and none of these Pokemon are Terra normal on the board, so Wolf doesn't have a good switch into Phantom Force here, which is pretty big. It is Speed Boost Espathra confirmed, which is not too surprising. Helping Hand on the Espathra, that makes sense. Yeah, now you can go for like... This is tough for Wolf because we saw his back, right? He has Sliggoo and Trevenant. These Pokemon don't really do damage. Like, my only problem is, like, we see this Sliggoo set. How do you break through our Chaladon with this? Yeah, how do you break through our Chaladon? Is it just like Lumina Crash the plan? If you need to preserve the Lumina Crash, you probably have to go to Sliggoo, right? Because you need Lumina Crash. If you don't have Lumina Crash, you just auto lose to the... or Chaladon. Unless you're... Are you Curse Trevenant? Curse Trevenant would be Heat. Curse Trevenant would be Heat. Maybe that's his way. Maybe that's his way. Like, I'm trying to figure out how you break through like an Assault Vest, Stender, or Chaladon, and I just don't see it other than Lumina Crash, Spadef Drops, and Curse Trevenant. That's like the only way I see you breaking through it. I guess like if a Chaladon can't set up, you could probably out heal it with Life Dew since we saw Life Dew on this Sliggoo. So that could be a thing. But yeah, Wolf doesn't have a fire move. He says he has Dragon Pulse, which means he's running Draco and Dragon Pulse. So yeah, he has no way to touch the Sneasel. I guess I feel like this has got to be Cursed Trevenant, right? Because like, how do you break through our Chaladon if you're risking your Espathra? Unless you're expecting this double, like not a double target in Espathra. Dragon Pulse did a lot of damage. That was like 35, I think. Phantom Force. And what's the follow-up? Gunk Shot. Okay. So Espathra goes down. That's a pretty big KO for Joey because that's a huge amount of like what Wolf could do offensively here. Oh, it's not Curse. It's Haze. Wait, how do you break through our Chaladon? I don't see how you break through our Chaladon. Yeah, I don't see how you break through our Chaladon. He's asking if Dracomir KOs the Sneasel. The Sneasel was like here after the Lumina. The Draco did, or Dragon Pulse did like 35-ish%. Draco is a little bit stronger. Well, it's like a lot stronger. It's like a little bit over 50% of what Dragon Pulse's damage output is. Or no, Draco Meteor is 130. Why am I blanking on whether it's 130 or 140? It's 130, I think. I think you should KO with Draco. I'm pretty sure you should KO with Draco at this range. It's a little bit early in the morning, so that's why I'm like, is it Draco KOs? I'm pretty sure Draco Meteor does KO. We saw normal Terra on the Trevenant also, so I'm kind of curious if this is like a... I think if you're Sneasel, if you have our Chaladon with Assault Vest, I would just switch into our Chaladon and probably just Phantom Force here. That's what I would do, reposition wise. No switch. Draco misses, unfortunate. I'm kind of curious on where the Phantom Force is targeting because are you going to target the Trevenant? Oh, big taunt. Big taunt. No trigger. That is not great for Wolf. Yeah, getting rid of the fighting coverage means a safe Terra normal option for the Trevenant, so that definitely sucks. Now I'm kind of curious on which slot that Joey targeted. So if he just said that Trevenant survives the Phantom Force, I think if that's the case, I think you can't afford to Terra here. I don't think you should Terra because there's a chance that Joey targets the Noivern, and I feel like if you Terra your Trevenant, you're gonna be in a bad spot against the Archaludon. I think you just gotta hope for like multiple Citrus Berry Harvest procs immediately. Yeah, like he talks about like Archaludon being a problem with Electroshock, but like, yeah, I just don't feel like you can afford to normal Terra. I think normal Terra is a mistake here. I think you always try to survive it. Although, what ability is the Bask? I feel like it should be Swift Swim, but if it's adaptability, I guess. Like, do you live adaptability? I don't think you live adaptability. I don't think you do. Draco? How's the Sneasel? I don't think the Draco miss was a game. Well, I think it makes it tough for Wolf. I don't think it was like a game-winning position for Wolf, but like, yeah, it makes the game a lot easier. Phantom Force to go target Noivern. Makes sense. Poltergeist should KO the Bass, so Wolf at least gets a double knockout, but I still don't know how you beat the... Wait, you don't KO? No, yeah, you should always KO. Unless the Bask had like a lot of bulk investment. Bask has good HP, but it's terrible physical defense. It's like base 65. It's really bad. And Poltergeist is a strong move. He's upgraded too, but I don't see how you beat Archaludon. Pelipper? Yeah, Archaludon. Yeah, what do you stop? How do you stop Electroshock? You didn't have Sunny Day on the Noivern, right? If you had Sunny Day on the Noivern, you could potentially Sunny Day here and then maybe have a chance. But I'm pretty sure we saw Switcheroo, Dragon Pulse, Hurricane, Draco Meteor. So yeah, there's no way for you to stop Electroshock from being spammed. And then you're just going to lose on the damage output because he can't break through this Archaludon on time. Sure, you have Haze on the Trevenant, but you're taking way too much damage from Electroshock. And depending on the spreads, Electroshock Weather Ball might KO the Trevenant. So I think it's screwed. I did not know Wolf actually played on Joy-Con. Because yeah, I don't know many players who play on Joy-Con. His entire setup. Oh yeah, Wolf has like a mic stand above him, right? Because like sometimes like his mic would sometimes pop out. I remember watching his like sets, and then sometimes I'd just see a black speck, and I'd be like, wait, is there something wrong with my PC? And then it's just like, oh no, it's just literally like he had his microphone here, and I always thought it was a Pixel, and I'm like, like it always got me. Dude, when he was doing this, it just reminded me of like the Indiana Jones movies where it's like the pyramid, and then you have like, you know, like the walls are like caving in or the ceiling is caving in from the pyramid. Like that's a classic booby trap. I assumed that was the mic stand that's holding the mic here. And yeah, we kind of see that the mic's here, so I assumed that like something happened to the stand. Now it's just a chair. He switched out the Trevenant into the Sliggoo. I guess he needs to reset the taunt without taking too much damage, but yeah. Goes for Hurricane. Confused is pretty big because if the Pelipper doesn't get damaged, that could be the damage that Sliggoo needs to be able to maybe have a chance to claw back at this. Takes it pretty well. Good Spadef. I think Sliggoo is like a base 1. Am I a nerd? Is it 113? I think it's 113. Double up into... Okay, that makes sense. Doubling out the Trevenant. You want to build up the damage. You thought maybe Noivern was switching out because of the -2 special attack. Draco... Based on the Hurricane damage, I don't think Draco KOs the Pelipper. Yeah, I just don't see how you break through yourself as Archaludon. Once you lost the Spaffer, I just don't see how you broke broke through this Archalon. That's my problem. Like, even with the Draco miss on the Sneasel, maybe like Wolf was hoping to isolate the Archalon and maybe to beat down the Archalon. But even then, I just don't see how you were breaking through this. Maybe if you get like a bunch of targets right and protect the right call, but I don't see how you really do that when you only have one Protect Mon. I guess you have Haze on the Trevenant, so you can't snowball as easily for Archalon. So maybe that's something I'm undermining, but I don't know. Electric Shot +1 is still always doing so much damage to Trevenant. Okay, Protect from Pelipper. So Joey brought Protect in this set, which makes sense. You go for Electric Shot, you probably target down the Trevenant to get as much damage as you possibly can. You either get the KO Noivern or you get the Trevenant for a bunch of damage. For +2 Electric Shot, that did a lot less than I thought. Are you Spadef Trevenant, or is just Joey not running a lot of special attack on the Archalon? I guess I could see this Archalon being like really Spadef or Primarina, I suppose. So maybe doesn't have much special attack investment, and maybe also Spadef Trevenant. Because I assume, like, by the way, Wolf, I think, designed the set, it seems like it's the answer to Archalon. That's what I think. I'm not 100% certain. I do think Draco Meteor made it rough, but I don't know if it was game winning. I do think maybe a better spot though. But yeah, I mean, we all are running inaccurate moves. This is Reg H draft. Let's see. It's like he's running Draco, he's running Poltergeist, he's running like quite a few inaccurates. We're gonna see Protect from the Trevenant. I Tailwind. I don't know why he Tailwinded. You could have just got damage. I guess to ensure an outspeed, but I'm pretty sure we saw the speed tiers. Archalon was always faster, I'm not mistaken. Evo KO's Pelipper. I don't see how you're breaking through the Archalon. Yeah, I think that's like the big thing. His normal Terra. I feel like if Wolf did normal Terra, he actually has a spot in the game. I guess like the thing is Joey could have also pinned with Hurricane. I assume that Joey, if he's running Tailwind, just standard Protect, Weather Ball, Hurricane on the Pelipper, and he could have like Hurricane pinned. So I don't even know if the Terra normal, it might have actually been better for him, but at the same time, like he doesn't resist the Electric Shot, which is like massive, right? Yeah, I think you have to sack Noivern because actually no, I see why Joey asked, but I forgot that the Noivern was in the back. So that makes sense. You go for Tailwind because you want to make sure that your Archalon, I assume, outspeeds the Noivern at this point. So you like Wolf doesn't get like a strong Draco that could maybe crit the Archalon for potentially stealing the win, right? So I think that's like what Joey went for. So the Tailwind makes sense. I thought like those were the last two, but yeah, the being able to actually KO the Noivern and outspeed it makes a ton of sense. So Wolf sacks because he's hoping that like Joey messes up the targeting, I suppose. But without Protect on Sliggoo, I don't really see how like you can get a read here. Yeah, that did nothing. That did nothing. That is definitely a Spadef Archalon. That is definitely Super Spadef AV. You either go for a throw from Joey and he targets the Sliggoo for some reason over the Trevenant, or you go for Protect Life Dew and hope that Trevenant can survive a Dragon Pulse if it's Dragon Pulse, or if Joey has Draco, you hope for the Draco miss and then you get to trigger him up and then you haze. I think it's just a call here. I think it's literally just a call. But I think if you're Joey, I literally don't see a reason why you wouldn't target Archalon. I think you always target Archalon, or you don't. Why you don't always target Trevenant with Archalon? Because like, what's Sliggoo do? Dragon Pulse, Life Dew. It's literally just hitting your move at this point. If it's Draco Meteor as the last move, I think you probably go for Protect. But then again, I guess it depends again if Joey has Draco, but I feel like you go for like just hope that he has Draco and misses. It would actually have been pretty funny if Joey loses the game off of Draco Miss after like getting a good position with Draco Miss. Dragon Pulse. Yeah, like it's just over. So what do you want to reveal it for Joey? Like what move? Is it your dragon move or do you want to body press? If I'm Joey, I think I revealed a body press if I'm Joey. Because I would rather reveal the body press here than the dragon. Oh, it's Dragon Pulse. Okay. Okay, no, I think this game was Giga Cooked then. I think like what Wolf needed to do in order to win then was protect the Trevenant, Dragon Pulse, go for a double protect. Joey targets into a Trevenant, Dragon Pulse crit into another Dragon Pulse crit. I don't even know if then he even gets the KO into the Archalon, so I think game is over. It's actually kind of interesting because I feel like I've watched Wolf play a lot and I feel that like I think Wolf has one of the strongest missiles in the game and it did seem he's pretty tilted. It did seem he's pretty tilted after the Draco Miss. Granted, then his setup collapsed. So like maybe his maybe his sanity was also falling down with the microphone stand, but like I'm pretty sure that like he'll probably be able to bounce back. Like this is not like he's been in situations like this way too many times with way higher stakes. This is the draft league semifinals. It's not the world championship top cut. But I'm kind of curious because I just don't see how you break through Archalon with what he brought. I think Hariyama's kind of needed, or you kind of have to preserve your Spaffer better because I still again don't see how you break through Archalon. Like how are you breaking through Archalon without Hariyama or Lumina Crash? I'm kind of curious on what the Arcanine set is. Maybe he's because it's Pasha Berry and that's max HP, or not max HP, but like 244 HP, right? He's running it back? No way. I think you just don't beat Archalon, right? This just doesn't beat Archalon. There's no way you break through Archalon with this combo. Like maybe you could haze away to boost sure with Trevenant, but like even then, like I feel like Joey just gets a bunch of damage and it's hard to out heal the Archalon. I don't even see how this beats Archalon either. I really don't. I guess we'll find out because I'm just really curious because I feel like Hariyama's really good here. I feel like Hariyama offensively is pretty good here. So kind of curious on what his idea is. I guess it depends on the sets because I have no idea what the sets are on the Arcanine specifically, which is pretty big here, but we'll find out. Archalon Pelipper, okay. Arcanine, I assume your Eevee to be faster than these Pokemon. Sash Pelipper, okay. So it should be Frail Pelipper. You could go for like what, Draco Snarl potentially. You could also switch a Rude Archalon's Assault Vest away, which is also a play. Yeah, I like the Draco Meteor Snarl play because it kind of is a super safe mid ground because Archalon can get a knockout after a Snarl since it's Dragon Pulse instead of Draco Meteor on Arch. So you can pretty much always ensure as long as you hit the Snarl, so you're in a good spot. I feel like I would rather get the Draco. Yeah, he went for the Draco Snarl. I think Draco Snarl is just better. Joey doesn't have a good swap unless Joey goes to Comfey and reads it or protects the Scout. But I don't know if Joey will protect or if he even has protect. Oh no, we saw protect in the first game, right? Yeah. So he could have went into Comfey, I guess, or protect there. But this is an amazing turn for Wolf. He gets to double up into Pelipper. And I feel like winning the Weather War when you have Sunny Day on your mons is pretty big. So Pelipper goes down, which is massive. And now Wolf wins the Weather War, right? Because we saw Sunny Day on the Arcanine, which is pretty big. It goes for Electro Shot. Who are you targeting? Noivern? Okay, Noivern. Honestly, pretty good turn, but Basket Legion's coming in, right? Swift Swim. I assume Wolf Eevee to survive Wave Crash from like Banded Ask after Intimidate, but there's no Intimidate, which is pretty big. There's no Intimidate. You're also -2 Noivern, so you're forced to switch. If this is Choice Band Wave Crash, I don't love this play. But like, Wolf doesn't have the best option here. Like, if this is banned, if this Wave Crash KOs, this might be just GG. Like, if it outspeeds it and just clicks Wave Crash and KOs, it's GG. Oh wait, no, we saw it was leftovers, so we know it's not banned. My bad. We saw it was leftovers. I'm forgetting. Like, I figured standard VGC because I like Joey's team is basically VGC, and then I forget that this was leftovers, right? We saw leftovers in the first set, so it couldn't be banned. I don't know. Wave Crash and Rain though without Intimidate. Can you survive that? I feel like maybe you could, but Sunny Day is revealed now for Wolf, and it went before the Bass, so he's adaptability and not Swift Swim, which is huge. That did nothing. That did nothing. Oh, and now Joey has to use Electric Shot the next turn. This is pretty big if you're Wolf. Yeah, this is pretty big if you're Wolf. You could get a free Wisp off into Basket Legion, and you could Trick Room. If Basket Legion has Protect, you might not want a Trick Room here, because you might want Arcanine faster, so you might go for Poltergeist damage. Goes for Willow's Trick Room, which I also think is fair. No Protect from Joey, so the Wisp is huge into the Ask. I think Joey probably didn't expect the Wisp here from the Arcanine. That makes sense because we confirmed like Arcanine's moveset basically, so that's pretty big. Like we saw Snarl Sunny Day. Electric Shot. Ooh, that did a lot. Did you want Arcanine to go down? Because getting the free switch would have been nice. Phantom Force was interesting. I don't know. Arcanine doesn't really accomplish much. I guess you could switch out though. You have a pretty safe switch. Yes, Liga makes a ton of sense being brought in immediately in Haze. Yeah, because you reset the stat increase on the Archalon. You're in a pretty good spot next turn to go for Phantom Force into the Askew Legion. Yeah, I like this spot. I guess the question is, what is Joey's last Pokemon? Because Joey's last Pokemon is going to be pretty interesting. Like if I'm Joey, if I'm going with this route, what do I have in the bag? I don't think you bring Greninja. I don't think Greninja's even that great against Wolf with like what he has. What did he have? He had Sneasel. I don't know if the Sneasel's in the back. Maybe it's either Sneasel or Comfey. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Comfey because Joey's been really loving that Mon. If you think it's Comfey, I think you go for Flash Cannon Poltergeist into the Basket Legion to pin the Comfey slot. Because if you can KO the Bass slot and isolate the Archalon, I think you're in a good position. And that's probably what you want to do in game one. You could life do. I don't know. He thinks Greninja's in the back. I don't think Greninja's brought. Like, I really don't think Greninja's being brought at this point. Because, like, what does Greninja do against this? Life do? No switch though, so Poltergeist should OHKO the Bask. Yeah, it connects, so Poltergeist KOs the Bask here, and now Joey is in the bad spot. I guess like Wolf also, wait, no, we saw Life do proc first, right? It was Life do, so he didn't even have to worry about activating Stamina. Snarl, or is the special attack drop? Maybe Body Press is the last move on Archalon. Comfey. You need to haze? I don't know. I feel like you're stalling out your own trick returns and it's not really worth it. I feel like you'd rather just get damage into the Comfey. Like, I'd rather just Poltergeist and Flash Cannon. Because our challenge not boosted. Like, sure, you get rid of your special attack drop on Sliggoo, but why not just Poltergeist Flash Cannon? Also, Joey has Terra, and I don't think our challenge is ever going to go for Terra. Unless it's, like, beneficial. I don't think it was. Yeah, if it's Grass Comfey, I don't see why not just go for Poltergeist. Also, like, just scout the item on Comfey. I don't really think the haze was necessary. Okay, goes for grass. Goes for life due to heal. I don't know. I think I would have liked Poltergeist. Confirming the item would have helped figure out the set. Like, he might just snarl again and you kind of get like a... Like, here's the thing. Snarl could come out again. Yeah, like, Snarl could come out again and you're kind of in the same spot. Except Comfey gets an attack off, which is the difference. Yeah, I mean, I just think that... I think that should have been Poltergeist. That's at least my opinion. I think you should have went for Poltergeist and got the damage off. I guess you can go for Poltergeist now. I'm kind of curious on what Joey's Comfey set is. I could see Synthesis on this Comfey. That would be heat if he expects like Wolf to bring Sunny Day attacks. Because if you have Synthesis on the Comfey to out heal, like this could be an interesting timer situation. Encore, okay. Oh, locking into Haze is not great for you. Build up the damage on the Trevenant. Citrus Berry going to activate, and then will you get a Harvest because it's 50%? You get a Dragon Pulse off in the Comfey, but you don't really get much. This is decent damage. Yeah, not bad. I think if you're Joey, you want to get rid of everything around the Trevenant at this point. The Trevenant's just going to be annoying. You can now damage it, I guess, with Draining Kiss, but you probably want to target down the Slig at this point. I don't know. I feel like Joey can win this. If you have Synthesis on the Comfey, you can have this Encore lock position, and you could win this on timer. So Arcanine comes in. So you reset. You don't want Trevenant to get super weakened, so this makes sense. Encoring Sliggoo so no life due access makes sense as well. I'm assuming this is Dragon Pulse. All right. Does he have no body press? Or maybe he's just like scared of Wolf going for the Terra Ghost. No citrus. This is weird because Joey doesn't know. Wait, does Joey know the full moveset on the Arcanine? We saw. What's the last move actually on the Arcanine? Because it didn't have an actual attack, right? I'm like pretty sure it didn't. I just need to see. It's with Sunny Day, Snarl. We haven't seen Protect yet, I guess, from the Arc. So. Yeah, I guess like Joey is in a weird spot because he doesn't know about the Arcanine sets, so he's probably scared of a fire move. So he has to Draining Kiss the Arcanine to deny it, unless he wants to read and go for like a Synthesis on the, like a... But the thing is, like, does he think that Wolf only brought solo Snarl? I don't think he would make that read. Yeah, like he goes for Draining Kiss expecting no Protect on the Arcanine. If Joey lives the Dragon Pulse and has Synthesis, I think this is a game. Yeah, I'm surprised that Joey has not gone for body presses, but I guess he's just really scared. Trevenant in. Yeah, the Comfey lives, so this could actually just be Synthesis here. Synthesis would be massive. Synthesis plus body press would be huge. If body press KO Sliggoo, and I think it should. I think I would Terra Ghost here. I would Terra Ghost. The reason I would Terra Ghost is like none of the Terras are impactful on the Trevenant anyway. The Terra on Noivern, I guess you could go for Terra Dragon endgame instead. I like that a lot because assuming you hit Poltergeist, you should be in a good spot. Because the Comfey still has an item, so if it's Synthesis, you probably get the knockout. Draining Kiss comes out, so I assume that the Comfey doesn't have Synthesis as the last. We saw Encore Trick and Draining Kiss, right? I don't think we saw the last move. Hovercloak, okay. Poltergeist KOs the Comfey. Comfey goes down. That should be GG. I think Joey can't win. Maybe he can if Wolf gets super unlucky. I think what you always do is yeah, I think Noivern, since you have Terra Dragon available, I'd go for the Noivern endgame. I'd go for the Terra Dragon Dragon Pulse plus Haze here to get rid of the boost. You would have to like get extremely unlucky and just hope that like every poltergeist misses. The thing is, if Joey does dodge every poltergeist, he'd win probably. Poltergeist actually did a bit more than expected. I think that DC is very unfortunate. I think like Wolf probably has a or I want to say guaranteed line, but a very near lock, which is Terra Dragon Dragon Pulse plus Haze, and then Poltergeist would KO. He just needs to land one Poltergeist into the Archalon. How many Poltergeists did he go for in general? He went for one on Bask and he went for one on Comfey, right? So he had 6 left, I think. Unless he didn't PP up. I think he did probably. I think Wolf statistically very likely to win this game. But yeah. Also, that was him that DC'd, right? Because I never got to that communication error, I think, whenever I've DC'd. So I'm pretty sure that would be on the person who DC'd. No, I don't think that's how it works. For some reason, it will still tell you if you're online. It's just really dumb. Oh, wait. Wait, Joey kicked the switch. He kicked the switch. What are you doing, Joey? I know some people like put their PCs on the floor, which is kind of crazy to me, in my opinion. Because it's like, or at least have some elevation for your PC for the fans, but like, that's crazy. Okay. Looks like we're going to go into game 3. I do think Wolf was very statistically able to win that. Because of Haze, because Haze in the Poltergeist. He just needs to land one Poltergeist. He just needs to go for Terra Dragon Dragon Pulse, Haze, and then Poltergeist. And he also has like this the safety of Protect to get the Citrus on Harvest. So I think Wolf had a very likely chance to win. Like very likely. I still don't know if his Arch. I don't know if his Arch game plan is super solid though. That's my problem. I'm also curious on why Joey never clicked body press. Does he not have it? I feel like Flash Cannon doesn't do anything in Wolf's match because you're hitting Primarina with Electroshot. Mamoswine, again, I think you have so much good coverage against Mamoswine. Was there anything else that Wolf had? What were the other 2 mons on this draft? I have no clue. Yeah, like Wolf is considering the Hariyama for the Archalon. I just don't see how you break through Archalon normally. Like I think the thing is Wolf's game plan against Archalon resides on keeping everything alive, keeping all your pieces alive, and if one thing falls, like it's a domino effect early. So that's my problem. I'm kind of curious on what Joey decides to go here. I think you go Sneasel again. I don't know if you lead Sneasel per se, but I'm kind of curious. Also, we don't know what the Bask is. Is it just like leftovers Aqua Jet? No way, right? I feel like you have sub. Like, I feel Joey's entire game plan. Like, I think Greninja's not great in this matchup because it doesn't accomplish much into Wolf's team. Like, it can hit Dark Pulse super effectively, but doesn't get any knockouts. Comfey, healing is nice, but otherwise it just doesn't do anything. Like, I'd bring Sneasel. The taunt actually was pretty helpful here. Also, opting for Sliggoo, I think, over Hariyama. Again, I think if Joey gets like 1 KO early and doesn't lose too much for it, he snowballs the rest, I think. So, it's tough. It's a tough one. Like, no Hariyama is a bit suspicious to me. I do think that Hariyama's better, but I mean, I'm not the one playing here. So Sneasel, Basket Legion again. I'm kind of surprised it's this lead, but okay. The game-winning leads for both players in game 3. You get to find out it's a Violet. Yeah, we found that basically. Leftovers. We do confirm it's Inner Focus Sneasel, which is not too surprising. You do get access to Taunt. Sneasel might go down to Hurricane. But here's the thing. Is Wolf really going to click Scarf Hurricane in a Sneasel turn 1? I think it's like super unlikely. I think he's like more likely to click like Switcheroo into Bask or go for like a Draco Meteor immediately instead. If Joey expects the switcheroo, he could go for switch out a Pelipper for the Sneasel and liquidation the Arc, but that doesn't even help. I guess he would be faster with the Bask after being tricked with the Scarf, but Pasha Berry and Rain probably doesn't knock out Arc. Well, it's adaptability, maybe. It's not Wave Crash though. Yeah, I think Taunt is pretty big. I don't know. I feel like if I'm Joey, I don't want to Terra my Sneasel. You could, I suppose. If you Terra your Sneasel, though, I guess like Arch and Pelipper probably aren't likely to Terra, so I guess you could just go for Terra with Sneasel and go for Taunt into Arc. And then Bask goes for an attack. I'm actually surprised Wolf considered Hurricane, because I really feel like he wouldn't in this like turn one of a read. Terra Steel. Protect on the Bask. Yeah, I'm surprised that he runs Protect. Ooh, coaching would be really cool, actually. Coaching would be really cool to get an attack boost. Twilight. Oh, he is coaching. Wait. So he's neutral attack, +1 defense. But the problem is the Sneasel got tricked a Choice Scarf, so it can't go for Taunt into the Arcanine. I think Joey's in a bad spot because of that. Because the problem is now, sure, he can get +1 attack from the coaching, but the Arcanine is going to outspeed the Bask and get a Will-O-Wisp spot before then. So I don't know if I exactly like that if you are Joey's side. Yeah, I really don't like that if you're Joey's side. I think the coaching didn't really help him at all. I think if he taunted, he was in a much better spot because the liquidations would still hurt even at -1, especially in the rain. Yeah, this is a rough spot for Joey. This combo is actually rough to handle because he's not fast. If he was fast Bascue, it would actually be like a thing, right? Like fast Basculation would be really oppressive here, but because he's slower than his Arcanine, it's really tough. Pelipper coming in. You get the rain, but the but at least Sunny Day could come out next. Nice double switch on Joey's side because you really don't want the Basculation burned. You get to reset the attack side. I wonder if Joey doubles out. He could double out into Bask again to get liquidation. Dragon Pulse into Arch doesn't really do much, and a Wisp. Yep. It's not great for Joey, but that was probably his best play. Like, he had to probably take all that damage and the burn on Archaudon because anything else would have been bad. Like, the Sneasel staying in wouldn't have helped him at all. Snarl Hurricane. Does Hurricane bring Pelipper to Snarl range? I don't think it does. I think you have to Drake. Maybe the Hurricane damage was pretty big in game 1. I don't know. I feel like Joey could have barely lived Snarl. I think you Snarl Draco. Sunny Day Sliggoo is fine. I think I would take a more aggressive approach because I don't really see how Joey punishes Snarl Draco into Pelipper. I guess like maybe Wolf doesn't want a specific position where maybe Arch is next to Bass. Maybe that's like what he's going for. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm even going to retreat into Sliggoo. It's a defensive play. I'm not sure if I like this though, realistically, but we'll see. I guess like covering to protect, but even then, like you don't lose too much. I guess like losing the health isn't great, but like at least you're draining the Arch away. Because like we saw no Comfey, so the Arch can't recover. Ooh, Tailwind. Okay. That's actually a really good play from Joey, getting the basking under Tailwind. So he kind of called that Wolf didn't go for the double up in the Pelipper, which is really good for him. So now Tailwind's up. Now that means Bask is faster. If I'm Joey, I'm switching out Pelipper always to preserve the weather control. And you can't really punish a Sneasel, right? You could go for like liquidation into the Arc. You could go for Protect. I think Protect I really like. Like Protect switching to the Sneasel and then go for coaching afterward. Like that would be really nice. If you have Substitute, you might want to reveal it now too. You could do that as well. I don't really like Thunderbolting Pelipper because I think Joey always switches. Like I think Joey has no reason not to switch into Sneasel. Pelipper retreats. Yeah, I think Sneasel always comes in. Like, you always want to preserve the weather. That's the thing if you're Joey's side. Because if Sunny Day goes up, it's not great for you if Pelipper goes down. The Arcanine retreats in the Trevenant. Ooh, that's really good for Joey. I mean, I don't think this is terrible for Wolf. Because it's not, because the thing is Phantom Force takes multiple turns, right? And we confirm it's not Last Respect Basculegion. If it was Last Respect Basculegion, I think it would be super threatening. But you could go for coaching Phantom Force into Sliggoo. That's what I would do here. You could also go for Close Combat Liquidation into Sliggoo as well. That's also pretty fair play. Because Close Combat into Liquidation, I think catches everything besides maybe the Noivern if it switches in. Forgot, did Noivern take damage this game? It didn't, right? Yeah, it didn't. So Noivern is actually the safest switch, and that's a good switch on Wolf's end. Discovers close combat plus a liquidation. Yeah, I think if you're Joey, you could definitely go for coaching Phantom Force. I think coaching Phantom Force is a super good play. Okay. All right, +1 attack and defense on the Basque. Also, this leftovers is going to matter for the Basque because this might allow the Basque to live later on. Good Phantom Force play. Wait, does this reveal the info? Wait, does that reveal the target? Does that actually, is that how it works? Kind of a big deal, actually. It's actually a big reveal if it does. Means leftovers. Okay. Archalon? Yep. You can't go Pelipper. Phantom Force Electric Shot is pretty safe. You can Terra Normal here because now that Archalon's burned and the Sneasel's gone, yeah, he can't punch Terra Normal. I guess the Rain Moves would hurt a bit, but I don't think it's like the biggest deal in the world here. I feel like, here's the thing, Kalen's still up, right? Basque outspeeds Chaos and Noivern at +1 for sure with thing. Does Noivern live a Phantom Force at +1 attack? I want to say no, not adaptability. You will break the subs. I guess you could get the Intimidate, which is going to be important. So it'll be neutral Basque. Oh yeah, it being the last turn of Tailwind is actually pretty massive. Joey needs to Electric Shot plus Phantom Force here. Yeah. Everyone goes down. Yeah, I don't think you had to Terra. Like, I don't think you had to Terra. If I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. I actually think that I actually do think the look thing actually does reveal the target. Electric Shot. Oh yeah, Poltergeist misses. It's screwed here. Well, we know it's not Damp Rock Pelipper, so the rain goes away. Arcanine comes in with the Intimidate. I don't think this is awful for Wolf. Yeah. Okay, I think this is a 50-50 coming up. Rain stops. Leftovers. Ash should live Poltergeist at that range, I think. I think this is a 50-50 because I think you could go Pelipper for either slot, right? And then Liquidation. This is kind of a mind game of what Wolf does here. Actually, wait, hold on. Wait. Let me think about this. I thought it was a 50-50 because you could switch in Pelipper, like go for Liquidation. It probably kills Trevenant and Rain, or you could go for like Pelipper swap Basque for Electro Shots, KO the Trevenant because you get the plus the boost. But I actually think Wolf probably has a, assuming Trevenant lives Dragon Balls, I think you have a very safe Sunny Day. Oh, there's another layer to mind game too, because the thing is, Wolf will always get a Sunny Day off before either one of these attacks. So it denies Electro Shot, it denies a Rain Boosted Liquidation. So you could Sunny Day here, but the thing is, if Joey stays in with both, It goes for Dragon Pulse Liquidation. Here's the thing. I don't think Dragon Pulse Liquidation gets determined after Citrus Berry. So I don't know. Maybe Sunny Day is always correct. Sunny Day might be correct. I think Sunny Day is correct. Ooh, wait, hold on. If Joey goes for Electroshock into Arc and switches out Pelipper, that could be a thing. I'm kind of surprised that Sunny Day is not being considered, because I think Sunny Day is actually a really good play here, because it covers a lot, I think. Yeah, like if you're worried about Pelipper coming in, I feel like Sunny Day covers it, no? The Sunny Day, because it's not Swift Swim Bass, you could Sunny Day and then Liquidation is not doing anything. Goes into Pelipper. Here's the thing, I think Sunny Day kind of got this as well, right? Although if you land a Wisp, you're in a good spot. Though Sunny Day was technically the safer play here. That's a really good land. That's a really good land. Yeah, that's a huge land. Yeah, I respect it from Joey. Although, here's the thing. I think regardless... I don't know. I think Joey's play might have been to Dragon Pulse, actually. The tree. Although, I don't know what he could do with Bass, because, like, I still think the Sunny Day, actually... I think the Sunny Day, personally, if I'm looking back... Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if I think I'm wrong about this. But I think Sunny Day covered every single option from Joey's side, other than maybe a double in a tree. But the thing is, I don't think tree went down to +1 Dragon Pulse. Because we saw how much +2 Electroshock didn't do too much. I'm pretty sure like Dragon Pulse at over 50%, only at +1. Dragon Pulse isn't the strongest, so I feel like it actually, like, Sunny Day was actually super safe. Like Sunny Day Poltergeist, I think kind of covered everything. That's just me. I think Wolf. Do you guarantee here? Do you Sunny Day or do you Snarl? Just watch out if Weather Ball KOs the tree. I assume you're Spit Def Trevenant by the way he plays. Weather Ball does a lot though. I don't know what you can really do if you're Joey's side. I think you have to Weather Ball the tree. I just don't know what you can do with Bask. Maybe you break the Partial Berry with Liquidation. Did we ever reveal Protect from Wolf's side? No, we still have not revealed Protect, so he doesn't know the moves. Sunny Day? You can go for Hurricane Confusion as well. I think Tailwind is not a play. I don't get why Tailwind. I think you always Weather Ball. Why Tailwind? Did he try to get... Is he trying to get like Arch to move before like Arcanine? I feel like you needed the KO on tree. I think you just guarantee lose off that now. Yeah, I can't see how Joey wins. Well, I guess literally you could dodge every attack in the world from Wolf's side. But I don't know. I feel like Sunny Day... Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Tailwind do much there? I could understand if you could get like the Baskin Fresh, but... I don't know. I feel like you don't Tailwind there. Like, I just don't get what accomplished. Now he's giga screwed. Because now, like, Wolf pins with Poltergeist Snarl. Granted, like, you can miss the attacks, but they're pretty good odds. Like, the thing is, Joey still doesn't have a way to punish. Like, even if you switch out Pelipper to Arch, which you kind of need because you need the range setup somehow. This should live. Yeah. Yeah, the defense boost from coaching. Okay, KO's the Bask with the Snarl. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Yeah, the Tailwind's gonna screw up Joey because now Arcanine outspeeds Sunny Day. Yep. Yeah, you always just Sunny Day and Poltergeist. You could Protect here or you could go Sligo as well. But you just always, as long as you click Sunny Day, you win. I like the switch here a lot. I like the switch a lot. Because Joey already uses Terra, so he can't Terra the Pelipper out of the Thunderbolt weakness. So you can just, yeah, this is super safe. Then you can Thunderbolt the Pelipper. And then you could haze away the Orchalon boost. Body press, if Joey has it, is a bit too late. Sunny day. A Weather Ball? Dragon Pulse? I did nothing. Oh wait, he's Shell Armor? Yeah, he can. Okay, a crit? No crits. Yeah. Wait, yeah. Why didn't he Weather Ball earlier? I think he had to Weather Ball like earlier. But yeah. I think like Wolf positioned this really well. I felt like the early turns were really good for Wolf. Joey was in the back end. He had a really good position with the coaching. He made the right coaching Phantom Force play. But afterward, I think it kind of just a bit snowballed out of hill. I think when he decided to go for the Tailwind play. And also even before then, it was still a little bit rough. I think the problem was the Basket Legion was just always weird. But then again, like his team was just so like his rain team was just super rough into Sunny Day Arc because again, like the Swift Swim was just like really rough. Like no Swift Swim, so that Arcanine just outsped everything on his team and pretty much ensured the Sunny Day was a huge game changer. Yeah, I can't really see how Wolf loses here. Spam life to Snarl is fair. That's fair. Because he can't knock out the Arcanine even for crit. I guess Hurricane crit plus Dragon Pulse crit can. Wait, why Dragon Pulse? Oh no, he Thunderbolt. Okay. Yeah. That's game. If I misunderstand how Wolf doesn't win this game, then I will also quit Pokemon. Or I don't truly understand Pokemon. Snarl comes down to Arch. Yeah, there's like no way. Yeah, like I'm looking back at the set and yeah, I think Wolf did a really good job at stalling out the Joey's Tailwind from earlier and then neutering the Basque. I think Wolf did have a potential, again, position to Sunny Day earlier, and I think had a safer line. But overall, like, he was able to get the Wisp off into Basque. It would have been interesting to see, I think, if, like, there was a punish from Joey's side, but it's a read call, right? I think that if Basque Legion switched out into Pelipper and Electroshock went into the Arcanine, the Electroshock probably knocked out the Arcanine, and then Electroshock again into the Trevenant that can't, or that would have to go for a double protect. But even then, I think there was a chance where Joey could win, but he had to get like a super hard read there. Basically, he was just in such a bad spot. But no, that's really cool. Okay, so Wolf does get the victory and finals, like Wolfey Draft League in the finals. So it'll be a rematch of week 2. And if you don't know, Wolf is my only loss of the entire draft league. I have not dropped a game or a set to an opponent other than Wolf, so I will be rematching him, and I imagine he brings his A game to finals. It sounds like even from here he already like did a ton of prep into Joey, which makes sense because Joey is a phenomenal competitor and you have to bring your A game if you want to beat that guy. I should know that, man. Like, these are the only 2 people who have ever beaten me in VGC Draft League who face off. I was either facing Joey, the only person I've ever lost to in VGC Draft League prior to this league, or I'm facing Wolf is the only person who has beaten me in Wolfey Draft League in general. So it should be exciting. If you don't know, I think I'm uploading this video on Thursday, and the match will happen on Saturday at 11 a.m. EST or EDT, I guess, because of time zone stuff. And yeah, or at least it will be going up on our channels at that point, so make sure you stay tuned. It'll be me versus Wolf in finals. And yeah, I thought it was a good set overall. I think that there are definitely some cool texts here. I'm still amazed about like the well, there was the Wolf setup breaking, which was honestly probably the biggest competition, I think. But maybe we can have him repeat in finals. I would like to see Wolf setup crashing out in finals. Actually, no, I would want Wolf to bring his A game because I want to bring my A game to the finals as well. I just feel, again, I feel like Joey just, I mean, just got a few calls wrong. I think his matchup was super tough with like the decisions he brought. I felt like Joey's techs were good. It was just because of the Arcanine. I'm kind of curious if like Joey disrespected the Arcanine, because it makes sense, right? Because like when you have Greninja, you have a Basket Legion, you have Rain mode, like Arc doesn't seem that great, but I feel like the set that Wolf brought just ended up being really good into him, because he punished basically no Swift Swim on the Basque, which means no initial speed, which was massive. And I feel like that really hurt him in this set. His set was really cool though. The Phantom Force set was really strong, I think, in the Wolf, if being able to be positioned well. We saw like how I was able to usually get a knockout if positioned right, but that Wisp Arcanine with Sunny Day was just so tough for Joey to handle, because he didn't bring Rain Dance, it looked like. Unless he had Rain Dance on the Greninja. Maybe if he had Rain Dance on the Greninja, and maybe it's Rain Dance on the Comfey. I don't even think Comfey gets Rain Dance if I'm not mistaken, but maybe that was an option. But yeah, should be a good one. Face against Wolf should be a fun one. And again, go check out the main channel. That's where the Draft League stuff has been happening. And go check out the Wolfey full edited draft video, also coming out on Saturday. So we'll bring our best to, or we'll bring our A game to Wolf, hopefully, and hopefully it's just a good set. That's all I want to say. Ideally, we get a revenge, but we'll see. Leave a like. Let me know what you thought about the Wolfey Draft League in the comments down below, and see you guys on Saturday.